45% of engine failures aren't caused by high mileage. They're caused by the liquid in your oil pan right now. I've seen $40,000 trucks totaled before their first 80,000 miles because of one budget choice at the parts counter. If you think oil is just oil, you're gambling with a $7,000 repair bill. Stop pouring this into your car before it's too late. Number 11, expired or old oil sitting on shelves. Most drivers treat motor oil like wine. They think it stays good forever in the bottle. It doesn't. Motor oil is a complex chemical cocktail, and those chemicals have a shelf life. Typically, you've got a 5-year window before the additives, the stuff that actually protects your metal, start to fall out of suspension. When oil sits too long, oxidation kicks in. It thickens, it becomes acidic, and it loses its ability to fight friction. I've opened fresh bottles from the back of a garage that had the consistency of maple syrup. When that hits your variable valve timing solenoids, it's game over. Pro tip, look for the batch code on the bottom of the jug. If it looks like it's been sitting since the last presidency, leave it on the shelf. Is saving $10 on a clearance bin jug worth a $5,000 engine rebuild? I don't think so. Number 10, outdated conventional oils in modern engines. If you're still pouring old school conventional 10W40 or 20W50 into anything built in the last 15 years, you are essentially suffocating your engine. Back in the day, engines were sloppy, big tolerances, no turbos, simple designs. Modern engines are mechanical Swiss watches. We're talking about tolerances measured in microns and turbochargers spinning at 200,000 RPM. Conventional oil cannot handle that heat. It literally cooks inside the turbo oil lines, turning into carbon pebbles that starve your bearings. I've seen 0W20 spec engines lock up tight because an owner thought thicker conventional oil offered better protection. It's the opposite. It can't flow fast enough on a cold start, meaning for the first 5 seconds of every drive, your pistons are screaming for help. Number 9, recycled or re-refined oil of unknown quality. Re-refined oil sounds great for the planet, and when done by a certified brand, it's actually fine. But the market is currently flooded with off-brand recycled oil that skips the critical hydrotreating steps. What happens? You're basically pouring someone else's filtered waste into your car. If the additive package isn't perfectly rebalanced, the oil will foam up like a milkshake under high load. Air doesn't lubricate, oil does. I've seen cam lobes flattened because bargain green oil couldn't hold its film strength. Check the label. If you don't see the API donut or the LSAC Starburst certification, you aren't buying oil, you're buying a lawsuit. Have you ever noticed a weird burnt smell right after a cheap oil change? Let me know in the comments, because that's the first sign of a subpar refined product. Number 8, racing oils in street cars. This is the stage 1 mistake I see from enthusiasts. They think if it's good for a 1,000 horsepower dragster, it's great for their commuter. Wrong. Racing oil is designed for one heat cycle, the race. It lacks long-term detergents because race teams change oil every 50 miles. If you run racing oil for 5,000 miles, your engine will be a sludge factory. Even worse, high zinc racing oils are catalytic converter killers. That zinc coats your emission sensors and melts your expensive cat from the inside out. Unless you like seeing a check engine light every morning, keep the track oil on the track. Number 7, using the wrong spec oil. This is the sneakiest one on the list. You grab a 5W30, the brand is great, the price is right, but it's the wrong spec. For example, a European car requiring VW5004 has very different chemistry needs than a Ford requiring WSS-M2C913D. One is designed for low ash emissions, the other for high shear protection. Using the wrong one can literally void your factory warranty. I've seen dealers deny $4,000 turbo claims because the owner used generic 5W30 instead of the manufacturer-approved spec. Always check your manual and match the code on the back of the bottle. Number 6, additive heavy or miracle oils. We've all seen the engine restorer bottles with the flashy chrome labels. They promise to fix leaks and regain 20 horsepower. In the professional world, we call this snake oil. Modern synthetics from companies like Mobil 1 or Pennzoil spend $100 million a year perfecting their chemical balance. When you dump a miracle bottle in, you ruin that balance. I've seen stop leak additives swell gaskets so much they eventually cracked and sprayed oil all over a hot exhaust. If your engine is broken, a $15 bottle of chemicals isn't going to fix it. It's just going to hide the symptoms until the engine explodes. Number 5, mixing different oils together. You're quart low, you grab whatever's in the trunk, maybe a 10W30 to top off your 0W20 synthetic. While it's better than running dry, it's a recipe for chemical soup. Different brands use different carriers for their additives. Sometimes these chemicals fight each other, causing the oil to lose its shear stability. This means the oil breaks down much faster than it should. If you have to mix oils in an emergency, get a full oil change as soon as you hit the next town. Don't let that soup sit in your pan for 3,000 miles. Number 4, cheap no-name oil or counterfeit oils. Counterfeit oil is a massive, invisible problem. Shady suppliers take used oil, bleach it to look new, put it in a Mobil 1 style jug with a fake seal, and sell it on discount websites. If you see a price that's 50% lower than the local parts store, run. I've torn down a seized engine at 30,000 miles where the synthetic oil was actually just recycled mineral oil with 0 additives. The owner thought he was being smart. He ended up needing a new short block. Buy from trusted and authorized retailers only. Your engine is the heart of your car. Don't buy it a knockoff pacemaker. Number 3, diesel engine oils in gasoline cars. The old-timer myth says the diesel oil is tougher and has more cleaning power. While diesel oil is high in detergents to fight soot, it's also incredibly high in phosphorus. In a gasoline engine, that phosphorus will poison your oxygen sensors and clog your catalytic converter faster than you can say, failed emissions test. You might think you're cleaning your engine, but you're actually destroying your exhaust system. I've seen Honda owners lose 5 mpg and gain a $1,200 repair bill just trying to clean their engine with Rotella. Stick to the API-S spark ratings, not the C compression ratings. Number 2, non-detergent oils. You still see these blue bottles on the bottom shelf at gas stations. They're dirt cheap for a reason. They haven't changed since 1940. Non-detergent oil has no way to suspend dirt. In a modern engine with an oil filter, you need the oil to carry the junk to the filter. With non-detergent oil, the sludge just sits on your metal surfaces and bakes into a hard crust. The only thing this oil belongs in is an antique tractor or a lawnmower. If you put this in a car made after 1950, you were committing engine-side. Number 1, wrong viscosity oils. This is the number 1 reason engines die early. Viscosity, like 0W20, is a measurement of how oil flows at specific temperatures. If your car calls for 0W20 and you put in 10W40 because you want more protection, you are starving the top of the engine during the most critical time, the first 30 seconds of every drive. Your pistons are screaming for help. According to Consumer Reports, even being 1 grade off can increase internal wear by 30%. That's the difference between an engine that lasts 300,000 miles and one that dies at 120,000. Follow the cap, follow the manual. The engineers who built the engine know more than the guy at the parts counter. Your engine is an investment. Treat the oil like the lifeblood it is. Would you like me to do a deep dive comparison on the best-selling synthetic brands to see which one actually offers the best wear protection? Let me know in the comments. Hit subscribe for more no BS car care, and I'll see you in the next one.